So as people are not aware about the PP, so let me quickly brief you that what is the PP, what is production planning, and what is the PP module, and then we'll be quickly jumping into what is the simplifications. Okay, so basically we have a different modules, right? In SAP, we have FICO, we have MM, we have SD. The same way we have a production planning modules. So production planning module would be having two things in it. Okay, two major things would be there. And I also want to highlight, because our today's section would be of the one part majorly. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. So in production planning, we have in PP, we have two parts. Okay. So basically, if you want to, if you have a manufacturing industry where you are producing, okay, and then you want to control your manufacturing processes, okay, then you need a PP module. Okay, if you want to control your manufacturing processes, that you should be having a proper production order for it, and against the production order, all the goods movement need to happen, and you should be having a tracking, you should be having a reporting for your manufacturing. So that is required the PP. Okay, not only for the manufacturing, it is also used for the planning. A lot of places, even the manufacturing is not there, but because of planning purpose, also the PP consultant would be involved, included. So it is known as production planning module, right? So production is the manufacturing and the planning. So it would be having two things. One is production execution. And planning. Now the new module name in SAP, new module name is manufacturing, SAP S/4HANA manufacturing. Okay, earlier the module name was SAP PP. So both are the more or less same thing, only the name has been changed. Manufacturing, now SAP is moving towards, when they have moved to S/4HANA, they're moving toward to the more business terminology. The MM change to the sourcing and procurement. I never understand why the module name is MM. Materials, what is material management? The work which we do in that module and what is material management, the both terminology does not agree with each other. Materials management, it is a wider terminology. The full logistics can cover under the materials management. So the right terminology was sourcing and procurement. The same way, now they're moving ahead. It's a module for manufacturing, for the manufacturing industry. So where the manufacturing is happening, so they have given the name SAP S/4HANA manufacturing. Okay, but still PP name is also very much famous. So it would be having a production execution part. In the production execution, you would be creating a production order. The same way in the another modules in SD, you create a sales order. In sourcing and procurement, you create a purchase orders. In plant maintenance, you create a maintenance order. In quality, you create an inspection lot. Right? In PP module, you would be creating a production order. And against the production order, you would be controlling all the movements and delivering the goods. Looks very simple, right? But when we go into the complications in the mastery session, this simple cycle we have done around 6 to 7 times with the different variations. So when you jump into it, there would be a lot of complications. But at the high level, with the production execution, we try to manage how the production is happening. With the planning, we try to manage that how to plan it. Okay, what kind of planned orders need to be created, how I need to plan my, even this planning is not limited. People think it's a production planning. It's not limited only for the production. It also covers the procurement also. Okay. It's not only the production planning, it's overall planning, which covers the production as well as the procurement planning. In next 6 years, what material I need to buy it. Sorry, next 6 months, what materials I need to buy it. In next 6 months, what materials I need to produce it. What are my capacities? Okay, whether my capacities would be able to meet it or not. Based on the capacities, I would be able to deliver or produce it or not. Your sales and operations planning, a lot of things would be coming together into the planning. But in PP module, when the planning comes, it's only the basic planning has been covered, especially in ECC. ECC, only the basic planning has been covered. Okay. So many people would not be knowing even ECC, SAP does not consider as a planning tool. If you'll ask SAP ki ECC, I'm not able to do this planning, I'm not able to do that planning, complex planning, I'm not able to do. SAP will come, boss, it's just a transaction system. Even SAP don't call it as a analytics or reporting, even it does not support in-depth reportings. Basic reportings are definitely there. So ECC is neither a reporting, it's neither a planning, it's just a transaction system. So when ECC SAP PP module was there, the basic planning was there, which we include the MRP, material requirement planning. But the planning can be very complex in nature, right? So then there is the advanced planning tools are there. We have a APO, we have a IBP. So there's a specific APO consultant. There would be specific IBP consultants who would be taking care of the complex and in detail to the planning. But when SAP has moved PP from when SAP has moved PP from ECC to S4 HANA, they have focused a lot and improved the planning, because in ECC, very basic planning was available, which is basically only your MRP. Okay, let's let other planning, your sales and operations, long-term plannings, those plannings was not used in depth because of their complexity in nature and because it does not deliver that much of in-depth things. So when SAP has moved from ECC, they have moved to S4 HANA. A lot of they have focused a lot onto the planning side, and a lot of planning things has been added. So when I would be talking about, so we have a very detailed course on SAP S4 HANA PP Excellence, we call PP Excellence. There we'll be covering all these things in detail. It's around 30 to 40 hours of course, where each topic would be covered in very much of detail. So what today I'm going to provide you, I'm going to take you that 30 to 40 hours. I would try to cover in 60 to 90 minutes. So I would be giving you overview of each and everything, and we will be having a new batch for PP Excellence starting from 10th of June. Okay, where I would be taking you all the PP concept and the generic things also. So now you would be able to understand what is PP, its production execution and planning. And when we go to S4 HANA, starting from 1610, 1709, 1809, 1909, from 1909 onwards, we saw some improvements in the production execution part also. But starting from 1610 till now, SAP has given the major focus on the planning, because planning was a lot lacking in ECC. So they have given the many new advanced function features in planning side in S4 HANA, which was not available in the ECC side. So we'll be talking about those functions and features. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Okay. I have two questions here. The first question is, will it be useful for MDG? MDG, the PP module is not that linked, Raj. Why? Because in MDG, inherently the bombs, routings, master recipe, standard solutions are not available in MDG. You need to do a custom solution. So PP module would be very good for you if you are having a client handling in MDG and they also want to maintain the PP master data in MDG. I will not talk much about that because it will totally divert our topic. What is digital manufacturing? Advanced words, new terminology just has been thrown into it, right? Sachin, I want to understand what is digital manufacturing. Answer is very simple. Okay. I will not answer it from the SAP perspective, but digital manufacturing is digital supply chain also you might have here, right? Digital supply chain, digital manufacturing. It has a very simple meaning. Digital manufacturing, digital supply chain means doing a digitalization of your operation and processes. Doing a digitalization of your operation and processes. So what we do is that we use a lot of places, we use a multiple different systems where we do the data entries, some paperwork are required, a dashboards has been created where you would be doing the planning. So it's not digitalized. It happens on the papers, it happens on the communications, it happens on the emails. So everything is not coming together to give you a end-to-end view, and you would also be able to, based on the data which you will be collecting, you would be also be able to make a quick decision out of that data. So if a company who's working without any system, they are completely into the paper and pen, right? They production orders has been printed, and then they would be doing a planning on the dashboards, manual plannings would be done. So that is a non-digital process. If each and everything in your manufacturing, you do a digitalization to it. Okay, you connect your machines with your ERP systems to get the data in. Your all the processes in the manufacturing operations, when you're doing everything digitalized, you're using a mobile to use the data, enter the data, key the data. The manual processes or the processes which is oriented with the paper has been reduced. There you are moving from towards a digital manufacturing. As that's the simple meaning. So let's focus on our main topic, the PP, the changes in PP. So when we will be covering into our session, I don't, in our excellence training, I would not be starting with the PP topics. There are a lot. If you are into the ECC and you're moving to S4HANA, you want to upskill yourself to S4HANA. In the manufacturing area, PP area, there's a lot you need to understand also. What is HANA, the basics of HANA, the basics of SAP S4HANA, what is conversion projects. Okay, a conversion project was not there in ECC. Okay, what is conversion, how it would be different from the green field, what you need to do as a PP consultant on the conversion projects. Fiori, what is Fiori, how to handle the Fiori applications, analytics with Fiori, and HANA migration cockpit, a lot of other things also which has been added, which will be generic in nature for all the module people need to understand it. Activate methodology, how the activate methodology would be useful. A lot has been offered in SAP S4HANA. The things which we were doing it in ECC, a long project, 17, 18 months project. Now we need to do it in 6-month project, 8-month project. Even I have delivered a project. It was a greenfield implementation in 4 months. A next project I am in discussion, that's also they want the delivery in 4 to 5 months. So that the changes is going to happen, right? And these changes, you need to pace it up. You need additional things also apart from the inherent PP knowledge. So those all resources and everything we will discuss about at what you require to run SAP S4HANA project. As a consultant, how Activate would be helping you. So all that generic stuff would be there. And then we'll be jumping into what are the changes between ECC and S4HANA. Okay, that things we'll be talking about. So if you have attended my last session was about the SD simplification. There I have touched base about HANA, S4HANA, conversions, those topics I have touched base on. So in today's topic, I'm not touching base on that, what would be covered at the last. I will show you the excellence curriculum so you can see that what thing has been covered initially before jumping into the specific PP topics. In today's topic, I am jumping directly into the PP. Production planning, then what other things would be there in production planning. Okay, so predictive MRP will talk in the last. Okay. So the first thing I would be talking about, earlier we were operating it, the PP process. So this is the PP process at the higher level, right? If you are able to see my screen, you have a planned independent requirement, that is your forecast. You run MRP, and with that you will be having a planned orders generated, then the production orders, you'll be releasing a production order, then confirmation of production orders would be happening. Some places you would be having a manual goods issue, good receipt, and then you will be doing a technical completion. So that is the overall process generally we do with the different transaction in ECC in the blue screens, right? Now, many people come to me, Parminder, S4HANA come, but it does not have much to offer. And even I have seen the implementation which has happened in S4HANA, many implementation, actually you will not see much of the changes because they have not adopted to the new function and features. They have not adopted to the Fiori. So if you want to take advantage of S4HANA, okay, if you want to really go with the new function and features, if you really want to understand what other things has been offered, the first thing you need to understand is Fiori. Without adopting to Fiori, your S4HANA from front end, it will look same as with ECC, but it has a lot to offer. With ECC also, you need to understand there would be a lot of things that the back end would be changed. I will be taking you also to the data footprint reduction, that how the data models got changed. In this part, in the PP section, we'll be focusing on the inventory management, because inventory management is a key which is linked to the PP. So I would be explaining that how the data model got changed, and that data model changes how it is reducing the data footprint. How we would be able to run a complex reports on S/4HANA, which we were never able to think on ECC. Those all things you would be able to understand if you know what is a core, why HANA is introduced, why the name HANA is there in S/4HANA, right? Because it's a very powerful in-memory system. Based on that, you would be able to do a lot of things which you was earlier not able to do in ECC. Your complex reportings are now possible, but make sure you have ABAP on HANA guys who can write the CDS views in S/4HANA to make sure that the things, the reports which you are not able to run earlier in ECC, you should be able to run in S/4HANA. That hovering round things will not come. So there's a lot of things to offer in the PP module itself, even in SD module, MM module, a lot of things are there to offer by SAP. So the only thing that I see that it has not been adopted by clients. What is the reason? Reason is you, reason is me. We as a consultant don't know the things. When we don't know the things, when we are not comfortable, when we are not confident, we are not taking those things to the client. To convince a client and to make sure that he go with the improved solutions, he improve the business with the new things, it's also a moral duty of a consultant. Okay, some people say that client ko nahi chahiye, client does not get convinced. It's not only client, it's also responsibility of a good consultant to make sure, explain the things in the right way so that business see the benefits and then they adopt it. So Fiori would be having a lot of additional advantages. I would be taking a little bit of the Fiori part here. I will also try to open a screen and to show you. And when we'll be talking about the I told you, right, two things, execution and planning. Planning has a lot to offer. Execution is started improving from 1809 and 1909. SAP started delivering the applications, and now the quite stable applications are there. You can do an end-to-end process in the Fiori with the Fiori applications. No more using a GUI screen, you would be able to use it. And innovative applications are available. Managed production order is a beautiful application which has been available. Monitor production order, track production orders, you will be able to do with Fiori. Now, analytics is also available. There are multiple analytical applications to manage scrap, handle scrap. A lot of things has been offered with Fiori. Okay. So if you will be running the process, so we'll be running this process in our detailed training, but just to give you a glimpse that what are the things, there would be some specific settings you need to do, like you need to set up your area of responsibility, not a detailed thing I would explain in the detailed training. And once you do that, you would be able to use the application. So you would be able to use the applications like monitor material coverage. Okay. So you would be the MD04, right? MD04 is a really pain, not for the even for the new consultants also. When I do the trainings in my mastery trainings, where we cover all the basics of PP, there basically, even when I need to explain MD04 to the consultant, even they also take some time to understand. And the business users, end users or core user, I have seen 60 to 70% are never able to understand the MD04. It looks so complex. Now, we will be having, I have not covered here I think I have covered or not, let me check. The plant independent requirement I have not covered. There's also, maintain PIR, this application is there. So the first thing would be the maintain PIR, plant independent requirement, MD61, which we use, right? That you would be able to do it with the Fiori applications. We'll be going in detail, but this is very innovative Fiori application. It is also giving you analytics here also, that what is the forecast which you have done and what is the accuracy of the forecast in the last week, last month, so that you can keep on adjusting your forecasts, right? So it is now the good thing in Fiori, when you're working in ECC, there are most of the places there are execution, there are the reporting. Execution reporting goes separately. You go into the CWIS or CWIS-PI, you take the information from there, and then you go into the another sections, right? You go into the MD63 to check it, and then you go into the different places, right? So here in S/4HANA inherently, and it's not only for PP module, in all modules, SAP had tried to merge Fiori with Fiori. Three things they have tried to merge: reporting, execution, analytics. Now, these three things will not be merged in each and everything. It's in process. I have seen a significant improvement from 1809 till now. A lot of analytics, a lot of reportings has been given within the transactions. So you would be checking your inventories, and you will also see the graphs that how the inventory has happens up and down. Okay, where your demand it is shooting up continuously. Those kind of decision you would be able to make. I need to check this inventory shooting up continuously. The consumption lines are going down. My receiving is going more, consumption lines are going down. Some problem is there. So that kind of analytics you will see it in PP module. It's a little bit less compared to another module, but it is there. You would also see the if you are using 1809, 1909, it was very less. But after 1809, it has been increased like anything. The analytics with Fiori for PP module. So this PIR we will be maintaining with this application, maintain PIRs, and then so this with the maintain material coverage, and there are more applications. There are beautiful more applications to find it out your shortfalls based on the customer orders and or based on the in-house productions. What is your shortfall materials are there? Earlier we need to go into the reports like missing parts, right? That missing parts has been improved like anything. It has been improved like anything, right? So those application would be there. I'm just giving you a glimpse of maintain material shortage, the graphical form it would be available. So these application would not look that good in my system, because my system is a test system. It has very few data. Okay, if hundreds of production orders would be there. But when you will be seeing this application in a productive clients, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense. Are you able to hear me clearly? Can you please quickly confirm of the chat window if you are able to hear me clearly, or is there any disturbances there? Okay, in between it break. Okay, just give me a minute. This happened generally in Bangalore in Monday morning. The internet respond a little bit slow. Let me try to switch to another connection. Just give me a minute. Huh? I just don't want to go with the breaking voice. Yeah, now it looks good. Should be okay now. Can we quickly confirm if you are able to hear me loud and clear? Quickly, everyone, can you please confirm if it is clear now? I think it should be clear. I have just checked all the connection from myself. Thank you very much. Thank you. So I would be taking in detail that how these applications with the MRP live session, when I take that, how this application would be really a game changer. MD04, I explained it to the end user also said, yeah, Parminder, you have explained it like anything. Now we understand it. But when I say after the 6 month and after a year, we go into the same project and I see the usage of MD04, people have stopped using it. It has to be simple consumption for the end user, right? Planning is always complex. There's no doubt for it. Okay, but the end user presentation should be simplified. Okay, for an end user, it should be simplified. That's what I believe in, at least. Okay, so we will be able to run MRP run. MRP run also, you would be able to do it with MRP live now. I have another slides for MRP live. I would be taking there the what is the MRP live, how it would be changing it. With MRP live, you would be able to do the MRP live, and with material manage material coverage, you would be able to see the MD04 in a graphical way and tabular way, both way. Tabular way is also has been enhanced like anything, and the graphical way even is better. Even this another thing is that the proposals. So MD04 does not give you the proposal that if there is shortfall, what it would be giving you, it would be giving you some warning messages control. Message control would be there. Message 01, message 10, message 12, 15, whatever the effort you made it to make those messages understand to your planners. After 6 months, year, they are not following it, what messages are coming, right? So the message control has been not followed. In here, In these applications, system will also give you a proposal. Proposal is to have your planned order created earlier, to have your purchase requisition created earlier. That kind of intelligent proposals also you will get it. Okay, in this application, which was not there in MD04. So proposal would be the additional thing. Then you would be able to have your manage production orders, monitor production orders. Very good applications are available. Just to show you a glimpse of it. So these kind of things would be available where this is a monitor production order. You would be able to monitor, you would be able to quickly check what are the issues in front of you with the eye visual things. You can see here, just for example, that what are the statuses, what are the problems are there. You can see it here. So this different symbols annotate the different kind of issues which we are having, scheduling issues, BOM issues. So that I will be explaining you in detail in the sessions. If there is any delays there, you would be able to see. And from here, you would be able to jump into the detail of production order. There also, you will be getting analytics. Okay, you will find a missing part is there. You will see the missing part. What I need to do for the missing part to shall I run a MRP for it? Run it. Okay, so the things would be linked here. In ECC, the problem is that it's a different transaction code. If I know one thing, from the interface, I'm not able to do that. Okay, I'm able to somehow able to understand the problem, but what next I need to do? Here in Fiori, it would be also be taking you to the next steps. Problem is there. Okay, it is a missing part is there. Go and see in your material coverage, how the coverage is there. Proposal would be there. With the proposal, create a purchase requisition. Okay, or already purchase requisition is there. Change the quantity in the purchase requisition. That kind of proposal would be given to you. Or if you want to run MRP, run MRP. Okay, with MRP live, earlier running MRP, we just tell to the end user, boss, bhaiya, there would be some MRP, that engine would be running in the night, and you would be getting responses in the morning, right? Now the things has been changed. Now we would be introducing MRP runs to the, not to the end user, but to the planners. The core planners are generally also called core user. To your core planners, we will be introducing, so that in the daytime also, if they want to run the MRP, they would be able to run MRP live, which earlier they were not able to do it because it create a performance issue. Now it would not be there. Because why? Why it would not be there? Boss, because we are on Hana, right? That's why I tell that people say that, yeah, Hana technical thing, what I need to do as a functional consultant, but you need to understand that what is the capability those database has, so that you would be able to propose innovative solutions to your clients. So once you understand that, yeah, Hana may have capabilities, it would be able to do a lot of things which earlier I was not able to do, then you would be able to do better consulting, right? The Hana people, they are not facing the clients. As a functional consultant, you are facing the client, right? So although you are not working on the technical stuffs, but I always tell, know the limitations. Okay, know what kind of limitations you have in technical side, know your boundaries. So in the detailed course, I would be starting with that boundary, so that you understand with S4HANA, your boundaries have increased like anything. Don't be into the mindset of ECC. यार ECC में तो complex report आ गया, BW, right? In S4HANA, it's not like that. You would be able to get a lot of things delivered with S4HANA, which you were not able to do. So I will be taking all the key function features in detail. I will be giving you a glimpse of Fiori, don't worry. So from here, you will be able to navigate to the production orders. You will be able to quickly release the production order. You will be able to do the multiple selection and then release a lot of things which will be available. You know, whenever I implement the PP module, I always prefer to give my clients kind of a dashboards, or we call it as a utility. So we created in many things, because I did it in one of the project, it got hit success. So I repeated into the multiple projects. So when we do that, whatever the things they need to do, they need to release a production order, give them a cockpit. They would be okay with selection. They would come, select and release the production order. Okay. Or any changes they want to do, the quick changes. Okay. They want to confirm this, select, confirm it. A lot of things which I provide as a utility dashboard would not be there here. But I have seen that SAP is proceeding ahead towards the utility dashboards by this. So here you will be seeing, you will be able to select multiple things, release the order. Okay, that kind of things. You will be not to go into the separate mass production transaction and to do it there. From the existing application with the handful 2-3 application, you would be able to do more than 10 to 15 tasks which you are doing in ECC with the multiple transactions. So this is the manage production order. You would be able to go from manage. From here, you would be able to also jump it, see the missing parts, do the MRP run. And from here itself, you would also be able to go. And if you want to confirm the production operations in the sequence, you would be able to also confirm the, not CO15, CO15, CO another transaction. You go with the sequence without putting the information, without adding, using your keyboard, just with click next, 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 you would be able to go into the confirmation screens also. Okay. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. So confirmation of the production order, we will be able to do it from the operation tab. You will be able to confirm the production order. So I will be taking these steps into the detail. When we jump into the training, we'll be doing end-to-end process. In most of the things in excellence training, we do with Fiori. Even in the mastery training also, I have given the glimpse of it. We have run in the mastery session one cycle with the Fiori, but now when I would be running this cycle, I would be running with advanced Fiori application. Multiple things we'll be introducing and we'll be going in deep. At this point, let me give you a quick glimpse of Fiori. Let me go into my lab. This is one of the feature when I explain okay. I think it will take a little bit of time because browser has changed. The cache would be rebuilt. So I'm logging into my S4 HANA 2021. So whatever the trainings we do it always in the latest version which is available. So Fiori generally takes a little bit of time. It's very normal with any kind of this big application because your browser cache is building it up, right? So if you're also using Fiori in our system, initially for first 2 times any application you would be using, any application, individual application, you need to use it 1 or 2 times. And when the third times you would be using it, it would be improved. And not only in my case here, in my system, it also same thing in the projects we are doing in the production system. We guide the end users. Boss, it is Fiori. It works on your browser cache. So when you are initially using, your browser cache is building it up. So initial experience, make sure you aware them that it would be slow because the cache is building up. But when they have used the application couple of times, then it would be very fast. So let's say I come here, I don't know what need to do, and we have a search here, right, on the top, and I just try to mention maybe my plant is 1710. I try to mention 1710. I don't know any transaction code or anything else, so I'm just trying to type it here. 1710, and I'm just doing a search. Let's see what happens. I don't know what is the transaction to create production order. I don't know reporting transaction CWIS hai or CWIS PI hai. I don't know. I just know that, okay, my plant is 1710, or if the user can come here, he said that my product is juice, right? I want to do it for juice. He can just type a juice, okay? Or then my product is soap, Dove, 500 gram. So you can just write soap, Dove, 500 gram, and then try to execute in the system. What are the different things available which he is able to access it, right? So that kind of functionality I'm talking about, like these functionality are the game changers. Handling a ECC GUI system is so difficult for an end user. We don't realize that because as a consultant, we are deeply working into it. End user would not be deeply working into it. End user use 30 minutes in a day or 1 hour in a day. Some transaction they would be using only once in a week, and sometimes transaction they would be using once in a month. So they forget navigation path, where to click, where to go. Okay, so you should not get, earlier we print small booklets and give it to them. Boss, always keep in your pocket, or sometimes we draw a flow chart with the transaction code, always put in your front of your desk. If you want to use SAP, refer to that. Why those additional things, right? I always thought, why not a system can be so simple where, like, how to use a Google, how to do the things in Google. I need not to remember anything. I just go into my browser and just type searching. That's why I also give this functionality as a name of Google search, right? So those things would be available now. So I just search with 1710, see the left-hand side. As a consultant, I want to open your mind and open your eyes that what kind of functionalities can be delivered with S4HANA. See left-hand side, batches information, controlling documents, CO information, EM information, bank related information, your material bombs, material related information, outbound deliveries, production orders, purchase orders, sales orders, supplier, work centers. This information which is coming with the numbers here on the left hand side and the information which will be shown in the right hand side, these are more than 200 reports running in your ECC system together. You would have noticed in ECC, it does not happen that if you're using it, some ECC system, FI report and SD report, there would be the standard reports I'm talking, they would be saying it is focused to object. In FI, you will be getting FI reports. In SD, you'll be getting SD reports. PP, you'll be getting PP reports. But whenever it comes to integrated reports, you need to always develop. The system standard report does not come out. And we always said that integrated reports would always be difficult. Go to BW. What is happening here? When I just put 1710 without giving a transaction code, without giving a program, system go into the fuzzy search and it starts searching in the whole ocean of the data and the database. What kind of things can be there? I can be having material documents, financial documents with 1710 mentioned there, company codes, master data would be there, BOM can be there, production orders, sales order, purchase orders. The full ocean, a deep dive has been taken and it brought up the results, right? That is the magic with Fiori, which can be done. I want to create a production order. No need to remember CO0. What is CO01? I'm never able to understand. When I started my journey as a end user, so I was like, I need to create a production order, boss. Why you are teaching me CO? What does the CO01 means? It means nothing. It's a nonsense for me, a non-German guy working in India and using SAP in English, which 80% of the people are doing. Create a purchase order, ME21. What is ME21N? Why are you teaching me so difficult? IT is there to simplify my job. Why are you making so complex for me? That was my always question, right? So now I have thought, yeah, this should be simplified. Why it is so complex? And then when I started working on S4HANA, I'm working it from 2016. So almost 6-7 years I have worked, and I'm really amazed the kind of things SAP is bringing it up. The things I was thinking about 15-20 years ago, now I'm getting it. So I'm very happy with these things. So ERP tool should be in the business language, CO01, ME21, ME23, and MD61. Those are all the IT terminologies. Take these IT terminologies in your pocket. Don't introduce it to the business. Business should be speaking a business language, even using a ERP tools. That would be happening. You want to create a purchase order, you would be able to type it here, create purchase order, create production order, and you would be able to go to the thing. In ECC, we need to teach them, boss, CO01, remember, write it somewhere, right? If you just want to see the production order, how does it look like? So if I am a user, I don't know anything, I just want to see my production orders. Without any training, I'm reaching it here, reaching to my production orders. Okay, these are my production orders. I want to analyze production order. What are the next thing I need to do from this production order? I want to see in detail. What are the things I want to do it? All the things are available here. Okay, all the things are available here. Okay, I want to quickly generate a Excel sheet. So, okay, this is the list. Show more. And then I would also be able to, okay, quickly generate an Excel sheet of it. I would be taking a dump into Excel sheet of this. Generated, let's see it. It's opening up. So you can see my production orders has been coming it up here. Production order, material description, quantity, order type. How simple it is. I remember, even though We need to give a training to user ki how to go to the reports and how to download into Excel. And when the Excel comes, they need to spend a lot of time to make it in a format which they should be share it. They need to delete some columns, they need to delete some rows. Now it has come as a fixed structure. So that kind of advantage, you will be seeing it from the SAP S/4HANA system. And even we have teach them, user coming it from a break from Corona, he pinged me, couple of things, Parminder. Tell me, I came from a 21 days break. I forgot that. How can I take a dump of the production orders in Excel sheet? And how can I check my stock? Very basic things for us as a consultant. We think it's a very basic thing, right? But think about the SAP end user, right? He's using 15 minutes, 30 minutes only SAP system, maybe 1 hour. So he will forget. If the things are complex, he will forget and he will not use it. So from user perspective, it should be very simple. That's why SAP is keep on speaking UI, user interface, SAP UI, Fiori is a game changer. And I truly believe it. It's a game changer. If you adopt it correctly, you test it properly, and you consult your client at what need to be done, how it need to be done, it would be a game changer. Okay. Concept clear, eyes open, bulb on. If you got all the things which I have spoke in last 10 minutes, and if it makes sense for you that, okay, for you it makes sense, for your business it will be making sense, on the chat window, MS makes sense. Quickly, everyone, if it makes sense for you, on the chat window, quickly type MS so that I can draw your attention back, focus back here, and then we will be able to go through more topics. MS on the chat window, quickly. Thank you everyone for responding. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sudhakar, Srinivas, Harihar, Gopala, Sachin. Thank you for everyone who is responding. Okay. Now let's go ahead. I have taken a little bit more time into the first topic itself. I have a lot of things to cover. So when we'll be, so these all, now these are people confused with simplification. What I am teaching is not simplification. I will let you know what is simplification and what is the advanced function and feature. When the simplification term is used, is mostly used from the SAP perspective for the conversion. Okay, so I will teach you in the training that what is simplification and whether the advanced function features comes into the simplification. Right now, people think that the simplification means that what are the new things in SAP S/4HANA. Technically, it does not mean that. But because that terminology is there, that's why we also say that, okay, simplifications. But we will be talking about all advanced function and features in SAP S/4HANA. So something which got changed, which would be having a business impact, something which is introduced new, which business should be knowing it so that they should be able to use. So I would be having these kind of mind maps. Because I will not be going into the very detail. Every topic has a detail. I would be, in 2 minutes, I would be speaking about for everything. Okay. Material master. Material master has a change. Material number length is the biggest change, right? Everybody know. FLETS, OMSL, everybody knows, right? The people does not know why it is required, which scenarios it will require, which scenario business should adopt it, which scenario business should not adopt it. If business is coming for you as a requirement, I need a bigger material, what kind of consulting you need to do to a business that there can be some side effects of it. You need to take a known decision because some of the design can be broken by introducing this functionality of 18 characters material, right? So that all will be covering that the material number length looks very simple, but it has a technicality involved in it. Okay, you should be knowing it. Why it need to be done, when it need to be done, what kind of implication can be there. Batch management also changed. The change has been come, if I'm right, remembering it correctly, I think from 1909, the batch management has been changed. In S/4HANA, so briefly, I will explain in a line. In ECC, when you activate the batch, you activate at the client level. Now, when I say client, the people always get confused. Okay, batch has 3 level, client level, plant level, material level. No. I'm not talking about that. Don't get misconfused with that. What I'm talking in the material master, when you activate the batch management indicator tick, okay, that batch management indicator tick, you manage it at the material client level. So we have 2 kinds of data in material, Mara client, okay, and Mark plant level, right? So in ECC, we do it at the Mara level. Once a batch management is ticked for material, It's strict for all, it's for all, right? Now we have done a lot of custom solution to handle it, that some plant batch management, some plant would be having a dummy batch. So a lot of custom solution we have given earlier. Now custom solutions are not required. Now you can say that my distribution center is having a batch, it does not have a batch management, but my plant is having a batch management. That kind of thing you would be able to do. Some configurations would be required, some ease to maintain this master data, some configurations would be required, and something you need to know that would be covered in detail here. Okay, so this is the batch management changes. BOM selection. Now this is when I will be covering, it's basically what things is changing. The way MRP is material requirement planning engine. The people who does not know, it's a planning engine which will be checking your all the demands versus supply, and it will be telling you where do I have a shortage, and it also will create a proposal documents like purchase requisitions if I need to procure it, or planned orders, right? So basically what is changing, the BOM selection is changing, that the BOM would be mandatory as a source when you're creating your planned orders and production order. It would be happening from the end of the MRP. So MRP sourcing logic is changing. So I would be covering that in detail, what sourcing logic has been changed, and because of that, the BOM selection is changing. So first you need to understand what is the sourcing logic in ECC when MRP runs, and what would be the sourcing logic in S/4HANA when MRP runs. So that thing you need to understand it first, and then it will make more sense to you. Actual course will be starting from 10th of June, Friday morning. 10th of June, Friday morning, we'll be having with the actual course will be starting. Quota arrangement changes. People say that, boss, in quota arrangement, we have earlier we were having these fields. Okay, and now the fields would be removed in the, you can see here, the quota arrangement usage field is there. Now the quota arrangement field usage will not be there. That is a change. To me, that is not a change. That everybody can tell you that, okay, but this field has been removed. The thing is, you should understand why the field was there, why it should be removed in S/4HANA, why SAP has done this. That you need to understand. That we'll be talking about in detail, not about this has happened, why this has happened, what kind of additional things which will brought up for business, whether any business benefit you will be getting it with this, that things we'll be talking about. Now this quota arrangement, this field also removal is linked with the sourcing logic change. And then why sourcing logic has been changed, that is linked with somewhere in APO. Okay, that why sourcing logic got changed, but why it got changed? Kya jarurat thi? Kyun ungli ki udhar? Why do it require to be changed, right? That you need to understand. That would be covering that it has a quota arrangement, MRP field changes has a link to the sourcing logic, and sourcing logic has some link to the APO. Because of that changes, because of that architectural change, the changes are happening here. That would be talking about. If you want to know ki kya kya, what are the things changes, do Google, you will get it. Okay. Okay, so we will be having a fixed fee. Okay, I will be talking about stay till the last. Some people are asking questions related to the fee structure. We have we have a self-paced course. So right now, if you stay till last, you will be getting an offer that you would be able to purchase this course at the price of self-paced. It would be a single standard price till I think 5th of June. 5th of June, we are increasing the price, and it will be single standard price of it. Please don't come to me or to my team for any kind of discounts. Whatever the things are there available for you in front of you, it would be there. It's very visible, transparent. If you like, you adopt it, but please don't come to me for any kind of discounts. It's already very, very low price. The things which I would be giving you into the training, it would be more than 200 hours of training materials we are giving you. The video itself would be more than 200 hours. I will let you know there's a lot we are offering right now, but what you need to do in a systematic way, I will let you know. Okay, story location MRP. Now the story location MRP field also has been changed. Okay, in earlier we were having these fields. You remember in MRP force, story location MRP, these fields are removed. It has been changed. Why it has been removed? Now it has a linkage with the planning. The way the planning engine was running in ECC and the way the planning engine When I say planning engine, is the MRP engine. Is running in S4 HANA is completely different way. Okay, not completely different way, is slightly different way. To increase the performance, SAP has changed a lot of things. So now this is linked with the performance improvement. Okay, now why the story location MRP field was creating a performance issues, we'll be discussing those things in detail. Okay, now you would require, earlier if you require to exclude a material from MRP, a story location, you can maintain it here and then it would be excluded for a particular story location. But in S4 HANA, if you need to do, you will require MRP area. Why MRP area? Why that complexity? Those complexity has been brought because the planning engine works in a different way. Planning engine need to work with the better efficiency so that in the day also, for a group of materials, if you want to run your MRP, you should be able to run it, right? So that what kind of performance issue it was creating a bottleneck, we'll be talking in detail. Because of that, you will see that these fields has been removed and we'll be having now a story location level MRP. Story location level MRP would require the MRP area to be created. So people have a question that system access would be, so just wait till the last. I would be letting you that what offering would be there for training, what all things you would be getting. System access will be there. We sell it in a bundle. In the bundle price, 3 months of system access would be there. 2021 system. Okay. Now MRP simplification. How many people know MRP? Oh, no. Let me ask another way around. How many people does not know what is MRP? Me in the chat window, if you don't know what is MRP. Quickly, let me check how many people knows and doesn't know. Narendra does not know. Whenever I'm giving a training also, I appreciate people a lot who mention that I don't know, I don't have any idea. No idea is a very good idea. Because if you don't have any idea, you have an open space in your mind to quickly grasp each and everything coming in front of you, right? Without any constraint. So if you don't have any idea, it's a very good thing. You have a lot of scope of learning then, right? So the people who don't know what is MRP, just in a line, I will explain. And the way I will be explained, in your lifelong, you will not forget it. Here is my pen. Here is my pen. So MRP is just a planning engine, okay, which generally we run at a night. Okay, but we have with MRP Live would be able to do things. It would be running it, would be taking all of your demand. Demand can come from your forecast, or it can come from your sales orders, or it can come from your stock transfer order. Just example, there can be a lot of things. It would be also checking your supply. Supply is your purchase orders, purchase requisitions, planned order, whatever the things which will generate the stock. Purchase order, you will do the good receipt, it will generate a stock. Planned order, you will convert into the production order. Production order, you will do the good receipt. So it will generate, it will be creating a stock, right? When you do the GR. So whatever the things which will be generating the stock is all supplies. And then you would be having stock. So this engine would be running, comparing all these three. This running engine is called material requirement planning. It would be comparing it and it would be letting me know, do we have any kind of shortage? Comparing my demand on a time frame with supply and with stock, do we have any kind of shortage? If we have any kind of shortage, it would be generating, I need to procure it from outside. It will give me purchase requisition created. If I need to produce in-house, it will be creating a planned order. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. So in a short, what MRP is doing as a definition, it is making sure we have a right material available at right time, in right quantity, in right place. Right material available in right quantity, in right time, in right place. Okay, wherever the plant store location, they should be having availability of material to sell, or availability of the material to produce. If there is any shortages there, it will be creating a proposal for them. I'm having a shortage of this, my demand is more, and on-hand stock plus supplies are less. I need to create more supplies. It will be, this both are the supply proposals. System would be generating. That's what MRP does, as simple as that. Okay, people who does not know the concept, is the bulb on? You know what is MRP? If somebody asks you, you would be able to explain, especially people mention, the people who mention, I don't know. Okay, if you got the concept, what is MRP? It ensures that right material available in right quantity at right place and at right time. Okay, if you understand it, mention bulb on. The people who don't know MRP, mention bulb on the chat window quickly. So the people who said don't know, Madhu, Samnendra, Naveen, you got the concept? Keep your replying coming up onto the chat so that I can come to know that we are engaged. Okay, good. Thank you for responding. Now, in this MRP engine, which looks very simple, but it would be very complicated. The first thing I need to do, even the trained people, that if I need to tell you the benefits which is coming in S4HANA, first thing I need to tell you the issues in MRP. The people would be knowing here DDMRP is there now, PPDS is also coming as embedded, we have MRP live. So you would be able to tell that what benefits those are bringing. First, you should be knowing that what is the problem with MRP. MRP is a very good tool, but it has a lot of limitations. If you understand the limitations, then you would be able to understand, because these things is my limitation in MRP and ECC. What are the things I can do in S4HANA? Can these limitations, can these drawbacks can be overcome to S4HANA? So I spent quality of time discussing that what are the problems are there in S4HANA. So we'll be having a detailed session which we'll be going through. And first you need to understand what all problems are there in MRP. Once you understand the basic issues with MRP, then you would be enlightened that, okay, this I can get it resolved with S4HANA, this I can resolve with PPDS, this I can resolve with MRP Live, this I can resolve with DDMRP, this I can resolve with IBP, if you know the limitations. Okay, so knowing the limitation is very important. That we'll be talking about what the limitations are there, issues are there in MRP. So I have highlighted 20 different issues, but believe me, if I would be preparing a list, I can easily prepare a list of 50 different things which you cannot do with MRP. So that you need to know first, and then you will be able to understand what are the additional things coming up. You can do also the classic MRP run. Classic MRP MD01 you run, right? MD01, MD02, that is available. Then we have MRP live available, MD01N. I will be taking that chapter in very detail. Even the very good Fiori applications available to support the results of MRP. That also will be talking about. So you can do the MRP live. There is a PPDS, there is a DDMRP also. Demand-driven MRP separate engine, separate planning engine, PPDS separate planning engine, MRP live separate planning engine, classic MRP separate planning engine. So we were having one planning engine, classic MRP in ECC. Here we are having 4 planning engines. 4 different planning engines will be there. Even I can also add it, predictive MRP. Predictive MRP would be the 5th engine. Let me add it here. PMRP. Now we are jumping into detail of planning, right? The things which will be improved. PPDS will be covering as an overview. PPDS itself is a 30 to 40 hours of training. Earlier was given in APO, now it has been given in embedded S4HANA, but it would be 30 to 40 hours of training. So PPDS I would be covering overview so that you know that what function features are there in PPDS. PPDS would always be handled by a separate PPDS consultant. Right now we are having a very few PP consultant who can handle it. So either PP consultant learn APO and then there they learn PPDS and become a PPDS consultant. But directly you will not be able to jump PPDS. First you need to do the basic PP, advanced PP, and then you will be able to jump to PPDS or IBP. That would be a learning curve. Demand-driven MRP is there, predictive MRP is there. So these different engines would be there. MRP live, MD01N would be the transaction, But you need to understand MD01 and we can do, you need to understand that what is the architecture behind it. So I would be talking about the architecture of MRP Live, why MRP Live would be so different from the another MRPs which we are doing it. Okay, what are the architecture level changes? Actually, the code has been pushed to HANA. I talked to you, right? You need to know the capabilities of HANA first. So code has been pushed in the MRP Live to HANA. It would not be running on your application layer, but it would be running on your HANA databases. Now, when you will be running, there is also chances that the things will happen in parallel. The PPDS with a single run, PPDS can also be run, MRP Live also can be run, classic MRP would also be run, DDMRP would also be run. All these four, although this is a separate planning engines, but the trigger can happen from the same single place. That is also possible. That also will be talking about how the trigger can happen from the single place. So these different engines will be there. MRP Live would be talking in detail. MD01 is just a transaction, but in that transaction, a lot of flexibility has been given. You would be able to run your MRP for the different plants together with the different combined of material. So you can say this bunch of material, run it in all the plants, or this bunch of material, run it in this bunch of plants. That combination MRP run, you would be able to do it. Okay, it does not, people have a lot of miscommunication, misconcept that because I can put the multiple plant, so the cross plant planning can happen. Make a note, cross plant planning cannot happen in MRP nor in MRP Live. I don't know from where business understand, who explain them, or from where consultant understand. Consultant are speaking that, you know, boss, in MRP Live, we will be able to run MRP into the different plants. Cross plant planning will be able to do. Cross plant planning cannot be done with the classic MRP, not with the MRP Live. It would be a feature of IBP or APM. Okay, what is cross plant planning? A lot of people would be thinking, yeah, cross plant planning, what is it? Don't worry, when we go in detail, I would be explaining what is cross plant planning and how it can be done in how it would be in the part of IBP, and what are the limitation in the MRP Live and MRP, that why would not we will not be able to do it. So you will be getting a exciting offer for this course if you stay till the last. Okay. So MRP Live would be a change where basically the MRP would be run in HANA. And now with MRP Live, we will not be having a limitation of the resources. Why we run MRP at the night? Because we don't want to impact the resources. Now MRP Live, you rather than running once in a day, you would be able to run 4 times in a day, 5 times in a day, every shift. You would be able to run even in the daytime also, because the kind of resources it would be using it would not be that depth resources. It would be using HANA resources, and HANA has in-memory database which has a capability to do on-the-fly calculation and the parallel processing, which is 1,000 times faster than your traditional database. Now you would be able to run MRP in the day also, if required. Okay, but all the things which have some star and star marks, which you need to consider it. Don't go with a blindfold. Try to analyze in detail, which we'll be covering in the detailed training. Selection procedure will change. MRP area will change in S4HANA. With MRP area, now many people does not know, by default in S4HANA, MRP does not happen at the plant level. In ECC, you have 2 options, right? The MRP can happen. Now these things, you know, the people who already taken the Master PP training from us, or the experienced PP consultant, they would be able to make more sense out of it. In ECC, you can run MRP on the plant level or MRP area level. In S4HANA, MRP always happen at the MRP area level. Always at the MRP area level. That is why MRP area level we'll be talking in detail, but make a note, in S4HANA, MRP run always happen by default at MRP area level. There's no need to activate MRP areas. In ECC, we'll be activating the MRP areas. No need. By default, when you create a plant, system would automatically creating an MRP area for it. And then against that MRP area, it would be running the planning. I will be touching in detail in the trainings. These all are very big topics. I just want to make sure that I don't shoot out time. I would be covering quickly. DDMRP, this is my favorite topic, and you let me know you that you would be finding me as a first person if you will go through the YouTube videos also. to explaining DDMRP in depth, because I was involved into the beta testing of DDMRP into the different industries, retail industry, another industries. We did the beta testing of DDMRP and given our feedback to SAP. So you would be finding my very old videos, even when it was introduced 1709 or 1809, 4 years old videos you would be able to find. If you search on Google Parminder DDMRP, you would be able to find that one video where I have taken quite in depth of DDMRP, but that is older videos. Now we have a lot of things has been introduced. DDMRP has been improved with 1909, 2020, even frankly telling, I need to check in 2021, what are the DDMRP, predictive MRP related changes are there. But it has been improved with each version, 1709, 1809, 1909, 2020, it has improved a lot. DDMRP has improved a lot, predictive MRP improved a lot. Okay. Both has been improved a lot. If you want to subscribe to the training, and if you are in a hurry, Bhupender and Aman would be sharing a link that how you can subscribe to the training. Link would be shared over the chat. Madhu is having that somewhere. I have read that the MRP area should be. I don't know from where you heard. I will let you know. We'll be creating. If you want, we follow the training from the scratch. The people who has already done the mastery, they have from scratch. They have created company code, plant, and everything. And MRP area is not required. MRP area, you need to configure it. You need to do any configuration with MRP area. If you want to do a storage location MRP area, or if you want to do a subcontracting MRP area, then you need to configure it. You need to mention the MRP area and you will be able to do it. But plant level MRP area is by default. Now, DDMRP, what is DDMRP? Is very detailed trainings in our content when we provide. It goes up to 5 to 6 hours of discussion. DDMRP. The video which has been put it there is a demo, which I think is a 1 to 1.5 hour video is there on DDMRP. That will also give a lot of clarity. To search on the Google Parminder DDMRP, you would be able to get to the YouTube video for that. Now, what is DDMRP? I would not be able to cover that everything, but what is DDMRP? That you should be able to understand it. Okay. So definition is there. I don't want you to read it. I just explain you quickly in an infographic. So we have a different kind of plannings which we do, right? We do a planning with PD. Now the people who does not know PP this is a MRP type. The engine which I explained you, right? To run that engine in Material Master, you need to define that MRP type PD, right? In Material Master, then those materials would be considered in an engine, demand, supplies, and other things would be run for that. Okay. So this is basically called the pure, it is called the material requirement planning. The engine explanation I have done happened with this. Another famous one is VB. VB happened with reorder base. Reorder base plan. What does that mean? So this is checking my demand, right? And based on demand, it is giving me the result. In VB, I will not be checking my demand. I would not be checking my demand. In VB, what I would be doing it, in VB, I want to do the reorder based planning. I would be saying, I would be defining the stock levels. I would be defining the stock levels, that this is my reorder point. This is my safety stock. And let's say this is the maximum stock level. So I would be saying that whenever it reach to the reorder point, a purchase requisition should be generated. And it should be set it like that, that whenever I come to the safety stock, another stock should come. Then another. So there would be some continuously material usage would be there. Some small parts would be there, which you need to, no need to worry about the demand. It is a common material you should get consumed. That we prefer rather than doing PD for that, rather than based on the demand planning, we do it based on the reorder based planning. This is also called based on the stock level plannings. That is a VB, reorder point. Now there would be third kind of MRP type would be introduced. It is not only the MRP type. separate algorithms, separate planning engine is there, which would be running for it. So I would be concluding this session in next 15 to 20 minutes, and then we'll be opening for question and answers. I would be going a little fast now. So what happened that there was a requirement which need to club both of them together. Okay, I would be able to also get the features of PD. I would also be able to get the features of VB. So the new MRP type D1 has been introduced, which is DDMRP, demand driven material requirement planning. So it is basically inherent. It is basically your improved. I would say it is improved, not improved, much improved in DDMRP. It's improved reorder based. So in this one, we'll be also maintaining the buffer stocks. We'll be maintaining in that buffer stock. When we'll be maintaining, we'll not only take care of the buffers. So this is, you can say this is the buffer stock reorder points. Okay, we are creating some buffer, and from that buffer stock we are supplying it. Okay, so that we will be maintaining buffers, plus we would also be able to take care of the demand fluctuation. The problem with this is it say that with this PR 500 plant order need to be created, but suddenly you get an order of 2000. Even the order of 2000 is there, still system would be saying 500 plant order is sufficient, unless you don't manually create it. All right, so that is going to happen with VB. Here it would be taking care of the buffers, and it would be able to analyze if there is any demand which is coming up, and that demand will not be covered by the buffers. A peak in the demand is coming up, that you would be taken care to generate the proposal. Now this DDMRP concept is not coming from SAP. There is a DDMRP institute. It's also called MRP3, third generation of MRP. It's also called third generation of MRP. And it's not like that for each and every material you need to put DDMRP. It would be for the selective materials you need to put DDMRP in an industry. How that selection need to happen? That's where the DDMRP had defined some principle. DDMRP Institute, Demand Driven Institute, has defined some principle that this is the principle how the planning need to be done with the demand driven planning, right? And if any IT tool need to be use this principle, what kind of function features that IT tool should be happening it. So DDMRP Institute and one more company was involved, I forgot the name, and SAP together, they work together to bring this solution in S4HANA. But let you know that, because I'm involved in this concept quite in deep, it was proposed that it need to go into all the solution. Earlier, the thing was coming that it should be introduced in ECC. But it took time, little bit of time, and then S4HANA came into the picture. So rather than introducing in ECC, they have directly introduced this concept in S4HANA. So DDMRP is available in S4HANA. Even in IBP also, you can run the DDMRP. DDMRP is also available in IBP now. So that tools DDMRP is available. So it's a very unique concept. So I will be taking you to the basic principle of demand-driven planning. And from there, you would be able to understand how many clients would be able to get benefits from this demand-driven concept of planning, which would be very different from the traditional PD-based planning and traditional VB-based planning. Although I explained in brief, but it has a lot to offer. It has a lot to offer. It would also be able to give you the inventory optimization. The MRP does not give you the inventory optimization. MRP only give you the shortages. Okay, it will also be able to do the inventory optimization for you, these tools. So that is DDMRP, demand-driven MRP. For now, in a single line, it's an improved version of reorder-based planning, which will be having a buffer stock we need to maintain, but it can also taken care of your demand spikes, and based on that, it would be able to give results. What parameters? A lot of parameters would be required. A lot of applications would be required. A lot of separate batch jobs you need to schedule for it. Everything will cover very detailed in DDMRP. And we also have a mind map for PPDS. I would be covering the overview of PPDS in the training. It would be a complete session. Okay, overview of PPDS would be covered. I'm not jumping into the PPDS because that would be a level high topic, right? But that would be covered. And in the training, I will show you the content. There are much more things which I'm telling it here. This is just a portion of this. PPPI overview also, it's not the changes in S4 HANA, but PPPI, we have put it in our excellence training, that also PPPI overview also will be covered. Then predictive MRP. Predictive MRP, this is the last topic I'll be covering, and then we'll be ending the session, opening it for question and answers. Predictive MRP is also the thing which has been introduced in 1909. I have not prepared the detailed mind map for that. I would be preparing it. How many people understand the long-term planning? Do you understand what is LTP? Yes, on the chat window. The people who are mentioning yes, if you need to describe in few words long-term planning, what you would be using? In a 1 word or 2 words, you need to describe the long-term planning. What word you will be using it? Madhu said simulation process, Sachin said simulation tool. Very correct. Very correct. So long-term planning is available in ECC, and we have not covered the long-term planning in our mastery course. We cover the long-term planning in the excellence course. So first we'll be covering what is long-term planning and how the long-term planning will be happening. And then we will be covering the DDMRP, predictive MRP. Predictive MRP would be replacing the long-term planning, LTP. LTP would be replaced by the predictive MRP. So long-term planning, what it does, it gives you chance for the simulation. If anybody say that, okay, boss, I want to do the simulation of the MRP, and then I want to proceed ahead, we give them the solution, long-term planning. You can do the simulation. It would be happening in the inactive versions. If you understand that, okay, the planning is good, you can transfer. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and click on bell icon to update yourself with latest SAP videos. Transfer it to the active version. So you would be able to run the simulation. That simulation would be helping you what? It would be helping you to identify capacity issues, stock issues, or sourcing issues. Wherever you have a sourcing issues, capacities issues, you will not be able to have enough capacity, or your capacities would be underutilized or overutilized, and the stock issues. That you would be able to do it with the predictive MRP. So with the long-term planning. Now, what predictive MRP would be doing? Predictive MRP would be doing all these things. First thing, it would be doing the predictive MRP in a simple way. There is only here we will be having a multiple different kind of in long-term planning, multiple different transaction we do. At least we need to run 2 to 4 transactions to make sure the long-term planning has been run. And then you would be able to do the analysis. Minimum 2 to 4 transactions will be required, or 4 to 5 transactions. Here it's a simpler way, just 2 Fiori applications has been given. And those 2 Fiori applications would be able to do this also, this also, this also. On top of that, apart from simplified way, and it is improving, it was introduced, PMRP is introduced in 1909, and I see very beautiful changes in 2020. Still, I need to check in 2021 version, what are the changes. So with this course, we'll be covering that in 2021, what changes are there. First, I will explore it, and then I will let you know. So we'll be covering that, what are the 2021 changes with the predictive MRP. So in 1909, 3 application was there, and in 2020, they merged into the 2 application. Apart from this process, it would also be giving, so this is the simulation. Apart from the simulation, it would also be having a proposals. I call it intelligent proposals. Okay, that this is telling you the issues. Long-term planning is restricted to tell you only the issues. Predictive MRP will go 1 step ahead. It will let you know the issues. Issues also, there will be graphical structure. It will be representing the issues. And then it will be also be telling you proposals, that what proposal you can do. Do you need to shift your orders, the planned orders? Do you need to shift it? You need to do it prior, you need to do it later. If there's an alternate work centers are available, another machines are available, do you need to go ahead with another production version so that you can balance your capacities? Or you would be able to go ahead with the change in capacity. You are running a machine in the 2 shift, but you see in a particular month with the simulation in the we are right now sitting in the month of May. In July, I would be having a more demand. So rather than having my machine capacity running in 2 shift, I need to shift it to the 3 shift running in July based on the simulation. So you can also increase the capacities also if required. So that kind of proposal it would be making you, that based on these capacity issues, what need to be done. These are very simple proposals, right? We are expecting from SAP to generate more proposals, intelligent proposals with more complex situations. So this is just a baby which has been delivered in 1909. So it's just a 2 years old. So I see that once it will be a 4-year or 5-year-old tool, adoption to the long-term planning is very less. Okay, very few clients are using long-term planning, but with the simplified way and with the predictiveness in nature, which propose you the solutions also, the adoption would be of the predictive MRP would be very high. So there are a lot of PP consultant, but less than 2%. 2% is also very high, very high. Less than 2% actually know in depth of these functionality. What is predictive MRP? What is DDMRP? In depth, what definition anyone can tell, but in depth, what is the business benefits, how to configure it, what things to be done, what things not to be done. Less than 2% people know, right? So if you know these function and features, you would be into the army of 2% people, where you would be able to know that I know predictive MRP, I know DDMRP, I know MRP live, and you would be able to definitely impress the interviewers, right? So these are the must know things for the PP consultants who are already experienced, and for the people who are learning SAP and they have completed the basic training, or from us, they have completed the mastery training, they would be able to go ahead with the excellence training. With that, I would be ending my session.